Good evening, folks. It's your bro Richard here. Today this video is now part 2 on the Lamborghini. Today is now part 2 on the Lamborghini Countach. Today in this video, where I left off to was the production history of the Lambo. And starting off with, for that is the LB400 Lambo. So LB400 Countach. And after that, I got North America, special versions, production figures, engine data, performance and weight, and then the Countach LBI 800-4 to do. It's like 7 bits left, but hopefully I'll try to attempt taking this done. So before I get started, make sure you all like the video, subscribe. So like the video, subscribe. So like the video. So like the video, subscribe, comment down, comment down below what you guys. So subscribe, comment down below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell and hit all. So hit all. So you're literally going to make brand new uploads. And before I start, I just want to say a big thank you guys to 500 subscribers. Thank you so much to all of you out there who are following me on YouTube and subscribing and just liking, commenting below. I really appreciate all the support you guys give me and encouragement, and yeah, I really am happy. Like, I really appreciate it. So thank you all so much for this. I couldn't have done it without you all. Thank you guys. Like, thank you all so much. You are awesome. So if we get up, so next stage, 600 subscribers. If we get up to that stage before the end of the year, or possibly before next year, that would be great. But I gotta work hard for this. I highly doubt I'll even get to that progress, but I mean, it's worth a shot, probably. But I'll find out what stage I can get up to. Alright, so before I start, make sure you all like the video, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think. So comment down below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell and hit all. So you're literally going to make brand new uploads. Alright. So without any further ado, let's begin. So now on the production history of the Lamborghini Countach. So starting off with the starting off with is the LB400. Here we go. So the first production model of the Countach was the LB400. So it was the LB400, produced from 1974. So from 74 to 78. So from 1974. So 1974 until 1978. It's first offered for sale at the 1974. So at 1974 Geneva Auto Show. So 1974. So 1974 Geneva Auto Show or Geneva Motor Show, whichever way works best, but still technically the same. Where 50 orders were placed. So where 50 orders were placed. The LB400. So the LB400 was equipped. So the LB400 was equipped with a 3.9 liter. So 3.9 liter naturally aspirated V12 engine. I think it was, presumably might have been V12, delivering 370 horsepower. So 370 horsepower. Pretty good. I mean, pretty good. 370 horsepower is pretty good for a supercar like this. This engine was given the type designation L406 or L406. Externally, little had changed. So changed from the second prototype. The second prototype. The second prototype. The nose panel was al- the nose panel was altered. Sorry, the nose panel was altered. The side windows now split split horizontally. So split horizontally, and various details of details of interior trim were changed. The LP400, say LP400, 400 was LP400 was equipped with Michelin or Michelin XWX tires. So XWX 70 70 R14 tires, sized 205s at the front and 215s at the rear. So 10 millimeters bigger than the ones at the front, because obviously bigger wheels at the rear bigger rear tires get better traction. And say 215s at the rear, say 205s at the front, 215s at the rear. The narrow tires and the slick styling meant that this version had the lowest drag coefficient of any Countach model. The emblems at the rear simply read both Lamborghini and Countach. So Lamborghini and Countach, with no engine displacement or valve arrangement, with no engine displacement or valve arrangement markings, as is found on later variants. The LP400 chassis, LP400 chassis was constructed by Marchesi, then delivered to the Lambo factory at Sant'Agata, where the car was both assembled and painted. Both the engine and gearbox were also manufactured at Sant'Agata. Each engine was run for a total of 5 hours and inspected before being installed in the car. The LP400 production line was both developed and supervised by Giancarlo Guerra, a former Scaglietti employee who worked closely with Stanzani. By the end of production in 1978, the company had produced 157 Countach LP400s. Next up is the LP400S version of that car. So, LP400S. In 1978, in 1978, a new LP400S model, a new LP400S model, S model was introduced. Though the engine was slightly detuned, downgraded from the LP400 model at 345 horsepower. The most radical changes were on the exterior, where the tires were replaced with 345 35 R15 Pirelli P7 tires, the widest tires available on a production car at the time, and fiberglass wheel arch extensions were added, giving the car the fundamental look it kept until the end of its production run. An optional V-shaped rear wing, rear wing was available over the rear deck following the popularity. Popularity generated generated from the rear wing of the Walter Wolf Countach, which, while improving high-speed stability, reduced the top speed. So top speed by at least 16 kilometers an hour, which is 10 miles an hour. Which that would kind of have like a problem, with rear wings. They would tend to cause drag, and for the Countach, the rear wing just basically kind of blocks the rear visibility. Possibly, I don't know, but I think it blocks the rear visibility. Most I'm moving on. Most owners, so most owners, so most owners ordered the car with the wing, despite this advantage. So despite this disadvantage, sorry, I screwed up almost. My bad. So despite this disadvantage, the LP400 S's handling was improved by the wider tires, which made the car more stable while cornering. So more stable while cornering, because of bigger tires, the cars will tend to handle a lot better. So which made the car more stable while cornering. The standard emblems, both Lamborghini and Countach, were kept at the rear. So kept at the rear, but an angular S emblem was added after the Countach on the right-hand side. There are three distinct Countach LP400S series. It's a series. So starting off with, out of the three, we got Series 1. 50 were produced. So Series 1, 50 were produced. The final chassis number of the series was 1121100, which is basically, if you want an easier method, 1121100. Series 1 cars. Series 1 cars can be identified by distinctive campagnolo, campagnolo Bravo wheels, with protruding hole edges, 45 millimeters, 1.8 inches, so 1.8 inch carburetors, and a lowered suspension ride height. For those who don't know what Campagnolo is, it's basically an Italian manufacturer of high-end components for bikes, which was headquartered in Vicenza or Vicenza. I can't pronounce it. Vicenza, which is a city in northeast Italy. So northeast Italy, around 37 miles west of Venice and 120 miles east of Milan. So in Series 1, 50 were excuse me. So Series 1, 50 were produced. The final chassis number of the series was 1121100. Series 1 cars can be identified by distinctive Campagnolo Bravo wheels with protruding protruding hole edges, 45mm 1.8-inch carburetors, and a lowered suspension ride height. Earlier Series 1 cars used small Stewart Warner dashboard gauges, which were changed to larger versions. Larger versions halfway through 1979, so like the middle of 1979, so the middle of the late 70s, like the very late 70s, almost the start of the very early 1980s. The very early 1978 cars had the original unpadded LP400 steering wheel, while later cars used a different padded style. Early series 1 cars, series 1 cars used, but, God, so, early series 1, series 1 cars, used small Warner dashboard gauges, which were changed to larger versions halfway through 1979. The very early 1978 cars had the original unpadded LP400 steering wheel, while later cars used a different padded style. Next up, Series 2. 105 were produced. The final chassis number. So 105 were produced. The final chassis number of this series was double one 21310. Double one 21310. Series 2 cars can be identified by their smooth concave wheels and lowered low body suspension ride height. Then we got Series 3. 82 were produced. The first chassis number of this series was double one 21312, and the final chassis number was double one 21468. So double one 21468. Series 3 cars can be Series 3 cars can be identified. Series 3 cars can be identified by their increased suspension ride height compared to both Series 1 and 2 cars. The usable interior space was also increased by 3 centimeters. 3 centimeters or millimeters. 3 millimeters, 1.2 inches. 1.2 inches. Next up is the LP500S. 1982 saw another update to the Countach, with a larger displacement, more powerful V12 engine. So it's bored out up to 4.8 liters. 4.8 liters. The bodywork was unaltered. However, the interior was given an update. This variant is sometimes called the 500S in some markets, which may cause confusion with the later with the later 500 QV. So QV. 321 cars were built. Next up is the LP5000. 321 cars were produced. 321 cars were built. Next up is the LP5000 Quattro Valvola. Managed to nail that right. So get it right. In 1985, the engine design evolved again. So the engine design evolved again. As it's both bored and stroked to 5.2 liters and given 4 valves per cylinder. So 4 valves per cylinder. Quattro valvole. Quattro valvole in Italian, hence the model's name. Countach LB5000, quattro valvole, or 500, not 500, sorry, 5000. So Countach LB5000 quattro valvole, or 5000 QV in short. The carburetors were moved from the sides to the top of the engine for better cooling. Unfortunately, this created a kind of bump on the engine cover. Reducing the already poor rear visibility to almost zero. So it's almost complete non-visible. Some body panels were also replaced by Kevlar. So Kevlar, the kind of material that they use with bulletproof jackets, pretty much, which is kind of cool. In later versions of the engine, the carburetors were replaced with Bosch K. Replaced with 1973, 1994 Bosch K Jetronic fuel injection system. Sounds good. The fuel injected V12 was rated at 414 horsepower. So the same basically as an Audi RS4. But that wasn't even out at that time. So 414 horsepower, the same as an Audi RS4. Pretty good. The European carbureted, A.K.A. downdraft or DD versions used 6 Weber carburetors. So 6 Weber carburetors, and were rated to 7,000 RPM at 450 horsepower. So 450 horsepower, which is pretty good. That's the same amount of horsepower as a 2010 911 GT3 RS 3.8 and an Alfa Romeo 8C Competizione. So at 450 horsepower at 7,000 RPM and 500 newton meters. So 500 newton meters, 369 pound-feet. 368 roughly, which is the same as a Mark V Supra. I mean, 368 or 369 pound-feet. 500 newton meters of torque at 5,200 RPM, which is basically 5,200 RPM. 610 cars. So 610 cars. So 610 cars were built in this spec or specification, with 66 having the fuel injected system, whereas the rest of the the rest of the 544 didn't have the fuel injected system, so just basically bone stock without the fuel injection system. On June 26th, 2024, so that was around over 3 months ago, a Lego set of the car was made. Pretty cool. Alright, last up is the 25th anniversary edition. So let's do it. Named to honor the company's 25th anniversary in 1988. So in 1988, the 25th anniversary, so 25th anniversary Countach, although mechanically very similar to the 5000 QV, sported considerable restyling done by auto executive Horacio Pagani, who's an Argentine-Italian businessman and engineer in the automotive industry, and who was also the founder of Pagani Automobili SPA, an Italian specialty automaker. So he owns like Pagani pretty much. Hence his last name Pagani, which he does like mostly the Zondas. And even the Huayra. I'm not sure if Pagani is gonna do like a new like car like with a different name and styling, because if you think about it, they did mostly the Zondas, like different versions of the Zonda and like some versions of the Huayra as well. So they should do a new version but with a different name this time. So we've already got Zonda and the Huayra, but they should do something different, something cool. I mean, we had Zonda and the Huayra. I think it's time Pagani would go with something a little bit different this time, but still would have kind of almost a similar stylings and whatnot as the other two the different types of Paganis. But I don't know, man. Possibly, I got no clue if they are or not, but we're going to find out. Anyway, moving on. So, named to honor the company's 25th anniversary in 1988. The 25th anniversary Countach, although mechanically very similar, to the 5000 QV, sported considerable restyling. So considerable restyling. So restyling done by Horacio Pagani, notably both enlargement and extension of the rear airbox. So airbox intake ducts was among other refinements undertaken, extending them to a more gradual incline, further in keeping the aerodynamic streamlining. So aerodynamic streamlining, while the secondary pair of debossed, while the secondary pair of debossed ducts, originally situated further behind them, were both brought forward, and relocated directly on the top, encompassing refashioned fins, now running longitudinally rather than transversely. This allowed the airboxes located behind the radiators to be rotated from a transverse to a longitudinal position, although allowing better airflow from the radiators out through the secondary fans. So through the secondary fins, sorry. Additionally, further reconstruction of an already modified engine bay cover, engine bay cover from a concept consisting of dual raised dual raised sections and tri-ducting to one that embodies a center raised section incorporating dual ducting become another feature. Various redevelopments to the rear were made, most notably the intro of a rear bumper extending outwardly so outwardly or just outward from the lower portion. That lower portion. These style changes particularly features such as the fin strakes within the primary rear intake ducts openings appeared to mimic the Ferrari Testarossa, which some people say that's like the worst supercar from Ferrari. Which I got proven. The Testarossa didn't really do so well. I mean, compared to the rival, the Countach, it didn't do so well. I mean, the Countach was much better in terms of performance than the Testarossa. Similar cars, it sounds a lot better. It sounds more aggressive than the bigger tires. And if you've seen the Grand Tour, you've seen that the Testarossa was smoked, really beaten by the Countach, because the Countach has a lot more power from its 48 valve 5.2 liter flat 12. Well, not flat 12, that's for a Ferrari V12, there's a 48 valve. And with bigger tires in the back, it gets better traction. Literally off the line. Out of those two cars, if I had to go with one of them, either the Ferrari Testarossa or the Lamborghini Countach, I'd take the Countach. Well, maybe there's gonna be some problems with it, but still, I'd rather take it. Anyways, moving on. So, these style changes, particularly features such as the fin strakes. So, fin strakes, within within the primary rear intake ducts. So rear intake ducts openings. Appear to mimic the Ferrari Testarossa. Though providing crucial improved engine cooling. Improved engine cooling. Nonetheless, it's only outsold by the QV model. It continued to feature 345 35 R15 tires. So 345 35 R15 tires. The anniversary edition was produced up until 1990, so the start of the very early 90s, before being suspended by the Diablo, so Lamborghini Diablo. The 25th anniversary edition. So anniversary edition was both the most refined and possibly the fastest variant of the Countach, accelerating from 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds and achieving a top speed of 295 kilometers an hour, which is 183 miles an hour. So 183 miles an hour. Pretty good. Okay, so next up we got is North American versions. Here we go. So the US is Lambo's biggest market and has traditionally been the largest market in the world. So in the world for expensive cars, expensive cars such as exotic sports cars. Um, However, neither the Countach nor its closest competitor, the Ferrari Berlinetta Boxer, however, neither the Countach nor its closest competitor, the Ferrari Berlinetta Boxer, were built from the factory to meet both either the US or Canadian both safety and emissions regulations. Americans purchased the Countach anyway, and individual consumers, said customers, so individual consumers paid to modify each car to meet U.S. EPA, so United States Environmental Protection Agency, and U.S. DOT, which is the United States Department of Transportation. So, United States Department of Transportation regulations. This is known as the gray market era from 1976 to 1988. So it's a 12-year difference from those 2 years, 1976 and 1988. So 1976 to 1988. While the Countach, Ferrari Berlinetta Boxer, and Range Rover were among the first such cars, the infrastructure they created allowed the gray market to reach 66,900. It's like almost less than 67,000 vehicles. So 67,000 vehicles. So 1,000 vehicles in 1985. Pretty cool. In 1985, so 1985, with the intro of the 500 QV, a US spec model was produced by the factory, meeting both US federal safety and emissions regulations. Changes to the American specification models. So models included larger energy absorbing bumpers. Bumpers. So energy absorbing bumpers, as the original bumper design did not meet the American 5-mile-an-hour regulation from 1974 to 1981. There's a 7-year difference from 1974 to 1981. Because in 1981, and a Bosch K Jetronic fuel injection system. Many owners removed the bumpers, so either removed the bumpers immediately or received their new cars without bumpers installed, which is kind of a good thing because it reduces both weight and drag from the car. So receive their new cars without bumpers installed. American federal law exempts all cars older than 25 years old, so than 25 years, from all design, safety, and emissions regulations. This is safety day for the Skyline GTRs. Million Day R33 in force, but now the R34 is legal in the US. I'm not sure about the R33 though, but we'll find out. But thank God the R34 is still legal. Phew. Thank God. Thank God. So yeah, American federal law exempts all cars older than 25 years old from all design, safety, and emission regulations. Emission regulations. Therefore, any original Countach can be freely imported. So imported legally into the US and registered for unrestricted road use in the states that permit such activity. Okay, so I figured I'm gonna end it right there. Okay, so that'll be it for now. For my next Countach video will be about the special versions of the car. Alright, so that'll be it. If you guys like this video, like and subscribe, comment, like and subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, hit the notification bell and hit all so you're alerted of when I make brand new uploads. Alright, so that'll be it. I gotta go. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. But until then, stay safe, have a great evening, and have a great morning as well. And I'll see you guys soon in the next video. So take care, folks. Stay safe out there. So take care, folks. Stay safe out there. And I'll see you guys soon. Good night.